Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe. And today we're talking about Dank Demois. She is a Detroit rapper who is suing Lyft for discrimination. Apparently a driver showed up, a Lyft driver, and refused to take her in his car. So let's get into a video from Brut, B-R-U-T, I hope that's how you pronounce it, about the whole situation. They're a news outlet, but it's a TikTok. So let's get into it, and yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
A woman is suing Lyft after she was allegedly denied a ride over her weight. Let me explain. Dank Demois, whose legal name is Deja Blanding, is a 29-year-old Detroit-based rapper. On January 19th, she posted a video on Instagram detailing an interaction with a Lyft driver who allegedly refused to give her a ride to a football watch party at her cousin's home.
I have more space at Mom. My car is small.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry. So I've been in this situation.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
On January 28th, Demois announced on social media that she is suing Lyft over discriminatory practices. According to the complaint, on January 18th, she requested a lift. When the driver arrived in a Mercedes-Benz sedan, he told her she was too big for the backseat and that the car's tires couldn't support her weight. He then locked the doors and drove away, leaving her stranded. Demois says that the experience left her feeling humiliated, anxious, and emotionally distressed. I was embarrassed, and I felt some type of way about it, she told NBC affiliate WDIV. I haven't really left my house since that. Her attorney, Zach Runyon, stated, refusing someone transportation based on their weight is not only illegal, but dangerous. Imagine the consequences if Miss Blanding were unable to seek shelter after the driver left her stranded. This could have ended even worse than it did. Lyft has responded, saying it unequivocally condemns all forms of discrimination, and that due to ongoing legal proceedings, they are unable to discuss specific details of the case, and further emphasize that their drivers are classified as independent contractors, not employees, meaning the company may have limited liability in certain situations.
I hope I called her Dank Demois and not Demois, because in my brain I thought it just... Anyway, why is her lawyer looking so, like, dorky? Like, that's not a good look, my dude. Get Jacoby and Myers to help you with this case, girl. Please, please, girl. Anyway, yeah, you saw that the gentleman showed up and was like, no, you're not gonna fit in my little car. And she was like, no, why not? I fit in little cars like that all the time. There's a lot of things going on in the world. I'm fine with a Lyft driver, ain't one of them. As soon as he's like, I'm not gonna take you, you've been like, all right, canceling, you gotta cancel it for me. I would have said that, you cancel it. And that way, because I think you get in trouble or you have to pay for the money, I'm not sure. But also, if you've seen her physically, because pretty much I showed you guys a picture. You guys see the video. She is a big girl. There is no way she would have fit in that little itty bitty car. Plus, it sounded a little rickety, that car. All this to say that know your body size, because I'm tall. I'm 5'10", and I know that I'm not gonna fit in, like, what are those clown cars? A Kia, is it? Yeah, I went in one once. A friend of mine had a Kia, and I had to push that seat all the way back. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not coming in your clown car anymore. Thank you for the ride, though. Here's some gas money. Yeah, it's this makes me nervous. It made me nervous. It was hard to get in and out of, too. My legs were like, nah. With that said, when I order a car, I make sure I fit in the car. Like, I'm tall, so I'm not gonna, like, if I see it's a Kia, I'm like, no to that. I'll pay for the XL, Lyft, Uber, whatever it is, because I know that I'm too tall for a little car. This should be the same principle to her. She's only 29. She should know, look, I'm 400 plus. I ain't gonna fit in every little tiny car. You know what I'm saying? So the next video I'm gonna show you is another woman who kind of agrees with me. And yeah, I feel like, I think this is taken way out of proportion. I don't think it's discrimination. I think that the guy did the right thing. He could have just canceled on her. I've had that happen. People just like, nope, I don't want to go to that part of town. Canceling on you. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. And I saw that in another video. A guy was like, I would have just canceled. Someone else was like, now Lyft is probably going to ask for full body shots to make sure people are a certain weight, you know, or even weight count so they know who's getting in their cars.
The lady that filed that lawsuit against that Lyft driver, I think her name is Dank something, the rapper. Listen, I drove for Uber before, right? The reason they're driving Uber or Lyft is because they need the money. Some people do it because they're retired. I'm not gonna lie. I get it. I get it from both sides. I see the discrimination in it, but I also see the concern in his little car that the car was on its last tire. You heard it. Tick, 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 tick. So she can get him for discrimination. But also, I looked up the weight capacity of a small car. It's like 800 to 12,000 pounds. So she could have fit. Right? We get that. She could have fit. But the man was looking at it from a personal perspective. Man, my car, tick, 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 tick. And you might get in here and there's too much stress on all of the mechanical parts, you know? It's also a reason to limit the weight. I mean, imagine he's driving Lyft so that he can probably fix the car. You get in the car and cause more damage. Then I also get it from, but would you have picked up 3 200-pound people? Would I have picked up 3 200 people? Sure. Yes. But if my car is tick, tick, ticking, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it and say that I'm sick. I'm done driving for the rest of the night. Just so you can't even say that I discriminated against you. Baby, I'm sick. I don't want you to catch whatever I have. Simple. Think about it. When you're on a plane, they need the weight to be balanced, right? So if she went to the back of the plane, but you don't have anyone in the front of the plane to balance the weight, the plane finna fall out of the sky. The plane is, right? So you getting in the back seat of this man's car with all of your weight. It would be different in my eyes. If 3 people were getting in, that's 200 pounds. You can even give them 220. But somebody's going to be sitting in the front. So now it's balancing out with the driver. Then 2 people in the back. But you getting in here with just over 300 something pounds by yourself, it's a lot of pressure on my back wheels. The man is already fighting for his life. I was doing the driving back then. I was broke anyways. You not finna cause no more mechanical issues to my car.
Seriously, like I'm just sitting here like trying to think of how to be diplomatic about this. And there's no way. There's no way. Like, some of those cars are leased. Like, lease. Because my friend Jen was doing stuff for Lyft or Uber. I don't remember which one. And she was leasing the car through them. I don't know if they do this anymore. This was like 2015. And she was leasing the car through Uber. I mean, anything happened to that damn car, it was such a struggle. And at one point, I was with her in the car. We were driving to Anaheim from LA, and it broke down, and in the most remote area too. So there was the cars are already junky, those lease cars. But imagine you're using your own car because you need to make money just to break even. And you see this girl pull up, and you're like, nah, I can't take you, girl. My hydraulics. Not hydraulics. I don't know why I can't talk today. Your shocks, I mean, I don't know. It's a big difference when you have 3 people, like she said, 3 people who weigh 200 pounds, because you could put 1 person in the front, 2 people in the back. And she talked about like the airplane and stuff. I don't know about all that. But I understand the logic of like distributing weight evenly, and to have somebody weigh that much. Apparently she's like 4 something. She could be more. Who knows? Usually people that big don't even know how much they weigh, so I'm just saying, who knows? But anyway, I'm just curious why she just assumed that people were just gonna be like, yeah, no, of course you could totally come in this car. I feel like if you're gonna order a car at that size, you should be hyper aware of your body and order an XL. Like the next car, like they'll bring your big car to take you in. The last video I'm going to play is of one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Obese to Beast. He has some really, like, important things to say. If you don't know who Obese to Beast John is, he went from being a really big guy to now being, like, a fitness influencer. So I really respect what he has to say. So let's check out his video.
At the end of the day, I think that this is really interesting. I can understand her being upset and it hurting your feelings. I think that it's taking, in my opinion, taking it a step too far to, do the whole suing thing. And especially like, putting this dude's face and his name out there and trying to get him in like trouble, because it doesn't seem like it was he was intentionally trying to be discriminatory or trying to like really hurt someone's feelings. It seemed like he was genuinely concerned for his car and maybe the safety of Dank Damas, right? And just the whole situation. It's a really tough situation. I don't know. And I don't know what the, overall legal proceedings will be. I don't know. Maybe Lyft will just end up like, settling out of court and pay a certain amount of money. Who really knows, right? But I think that the whole situation is definitely tough. I can understand and I can empathize with her, but at the same time, like when you get to a certain size, like there are things that you will not be able to do and that you cannot do. And, I feel like Dank Damas is at this level where she's right at the precipice of like things getting a lot worse, right? Being immobile, a lot more immobile, not being able to leave the house as much, like all of that stuff, like, she won't be like, eventually it genuinely will happen where she cannot fit into a car, right? We see that on My 600-Pound Life. And yeah, she isn't 600 pounds, but she says that she's 500, right? And so she's not all that far off to where those people literally cannot fit in cars. They have to be transported via like minivans, right? That's the only way that they can do it, right? So like that is a reality of the situation. And so while I understand your feelings being hurt, at the same time, like if you continue down this road, that will absolutely be your future. That will happen. You will not be able to fit in certain vehicles, right? That is just a fact. We have seen it over and over again. And so, is it, Abraham's job to, smack some sense in it or no? I don't think that's what he was trying to do, right? But it seems that the general consensus on social media are people like, hey, I'm not sure if I agree with this. I think that this is a little over the top. And so, I don't know. I'm genuinely curious what.
Thanks, John. John always puts it in perspective. And I think that, yeah, I empathize with her because it is embarrassing to be rejected and be told, yeah, you're not going to fit in here. And yeah, I could see her being really upset about that. You're trying to get somewhere and the service that you consider reliable decides to not take you. But at the same time, I would feel like he could have just canceled the ride and then you could have just gotten another bigger ride. You have to be really aware of your body and be aware of your situation. Like, if this is the only means of transportation and that John corrected, it was like she's 500 pounds. Like, come on, girl. Like, seriously. Like, look, you got to look at the car and him saying, yeah, and her putting it on blast, like putting him on blast and getting him fired is, I'm like, was that right? I don't think it was right. Like, his car was making some noises there. Like, they don't pay that much. He's just trying to get by. Maybe he was one paycheck away, like, from something. And he's just doing his thing. And he just looked at her and he was like, nah, you're not going in my car because this car is about to fall over. Maybe he was one paycheck away from getting another car. You never know. You never know anybody's situation. So for her to be so, I don't want to say righteous, because I mean it would anger me as well, to be rejected. I think she should have maybe thought things through, because it's gotten really out of hand. It kind of snowballed really quickly, this whole situation with suing Lyft. It's a little bit unfortunate. Like I said, I think it's unfortunate that we've come to this, but we're in America and everybody wants to sue everybody else. I think that, and plus her lawyer looks hella sketchy. Girl, get somebody better. Who is that guy? Girl, who is that? I just feel like it's just like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that we're at a point where we're upset about something like that. That's not this whole fat acceptance movement has made people really, in a way, narcissistic. Like, you're supposed to take me. This is discrimination. It's like, was he? I mean, dude lost his job over this. This isn't, you don't know what his situation was. And I think that her putting him on blast really, like, left a bad taste in my mouth, because I would have understood if she was upset and she made a post and was like, this is really wrong, Liv, fix it. But to put the person on blast, I think that's wrong. All that to say, I sided with the driver, basically. And I think it's silly to sue people for something you putting your body through that and putting yourself in that situation where something like this happens to you. I think she really needs to look at her life and look at herself and think about her physical being. She is 29. So a lot of these fat acceptance people are under 30 and they don't understand, like, what's the big deal? I mean, after 30, you start to feel that weight. You definitely do. So she may not feel the weight of her body yet, but she really needs to take a breather and understand what's going on, and understand what she just did and what's going on in her life, and maybe consider working on her physical self. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this will resolve with a happy ending. I don't know how. I hope the best for Dank. Demois. I keep calling it Demois. I'm sorry, girl. I hope, that this works out in a way that she feels justified. I mean, yeah, nobody wants to feel less than, and I understand that. But also, maybe it's time for you to really look in the mirror and see what you got going on, and check into your physical, mental health. I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know. But physically, you can see what's going on, and hopefully, she'll take this as a learning experience. That's all I can say about that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, stay sassy.